In today's video, we're taking a look at what's called the Kaye Effect, something that causes some types of liquids to actually bounce off of themselves. Guys, we've got a really cool science experiment today, and this is 100% something you can and probably should try at home.
This is a lot of strange things. I walked into the studio today to Nate cutting open one of our bins. Nate, why?
Two reasons. One, it was already broken. Two, what we're gonna be doing today is slightly messy. And when I say messy, I mean it does get everywhere a little bit, but it's also mostly with soap and varieties of soap.
It's supposed to do that.
That's the goal, in fact. You want it to get everywhere. That means you did it right. Here's the basic idea. We've got a few different types of viscous liquids, and we're gonna see which of them will actually bounce off of themselves due to the Kaye effect. We're exploring something called the Kaye effect. This is a phenomenon in which certain types of gelatinous or viscous liquids will actually appear to bounce off of themselves in a thin stream when poured from above. It's the kind of thing you may have accidentally done in your shower at some point, and if not, then you should do on purpose on a plate with some shower gel.
So from what I understand, this actually only works with non-Newtonian liquids, meaning these liquids just don't work the way you would expect them to. And there are two different types. You have shear thinning and you'll have shear thickening. Now, the ones that we have today are shear thinning. What does that mean?
Shear thinning means that when you apply pressure to the liquid, it thins out. It gets more runny and less viscous. This is something that you want in a soap because you want to be able to pour it onto your hand and not have it just run right off like water, but then you also want it to spread well if you're actually applying it to yourself.
A shear thickening liquid, now one that you guys might be very, very familiar with is Oobleck. A lot of people love to play with this. It's cornstarch in water. That is the opposite of a shear thinning liquid. It's shear thickening, meaning that when you apply stress to it, when you're playing with it, it actually almost hardens up, and then when you stop, it turns into a liquid again.
So now we want to show you what this Kaye effect does and then play around for a little bit and see what cool results we can get. We're going to be starting off just on a plate, and that's actually going to do a pretty good job. This is a very cool effect, but it's not a very large effect most of the time. We'll try and scale it up a bit and see if we get the same results. Not sure if that'll work or not.
You also managed to pull out today the largest syringe I have ever seen in my life. Just why? Why?
In case you need a dose of 250 cc's or something. Like instead of a saline drip, you can just put like all of the saline at once. There. The syringes I actually got because I wanted to see if adding more pressure amplified or negated the effect. I thought like, well, it's supposed to thin out when it's got more pressure and stress on it. So I thought if I shot it at a higher speed, maybe it would work better. So far, the syringes I haven't actually had work very well. The best effect I've had has just been letting it drip down due to gravity. So I say let's start with that and see if we can get this going.
All right, let's go for it.
So here we've got kids body wash, whatever's on there. We've basically got a lot of body wash, and I think that one's shampoo. This is gonna make the studio smell pretty great, I think.
There you go.
All right, so the easiest way to do this experiment, to set this up, I just have a very cheap body wash here, and this is the type that just has like a round hole at the top as opposed to like one of these pump bottles. These ones with like the shampoo bottle here that pop open, you can actually make it work with this as well, but this kind is pretty easy. So
I have seen this work with the pump bottles too. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever had this happen before, or in the restroom and you go to like pump the soap and it'll actually, I've had this happen in my hands before, just on accident. So you may have seen this before, like you'll see this happen, you'll be like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about, but it's actually really, really cool when you understand the science behind it.
all right, let's see if we can make this work.
All right, go for it.
I'm just gonna start by turning the bottle upside down. It won't run out by itself, so I'm just gonna very gently squeeze and try and get a consistent stream out of it.
Go
and
for
then
it.
I'm going to just start lifting it. Most of the liquids that I've tried have sort of a sweet spot. If it's too low, then there's not enough shearing force for it to liquefy. If it's too high, I'm not sure what changes. I think it has enough shearing force that it sort of tunnels down into the liquid instead of bouncing off of itself. So let's start just down here. We've got a little bit of running out, and I'm just gonna raise the bottle up.
You've already got it.
It's already starting, yep.
There you go.
You can see how it's like spraying off sideways, all weird.
That's so crazy. He hasn't changed where he's dropping the body wash from, but if you look at the plate, it's just covered in these little spirals as though he's just like kind of gone crazy with it. He hasn't, he's not moving. It's doing that on its own. And it's off the plate.
That's why we got the container.
Okay, I understand now. But yes, the studio already smells amazing.
Just what I wanted. So that is the Kaye Effect right there, and I hope it was really visible on camera. We're gonna do a few more things to try and really highlight that, bring it out. But yeah, that's what we're going for, is the liquid goes down, it's under just the right amount of stress that it kind of liquefies. As the liquid hits itself, more of the liquid, it sort of tunnels down into it a little bit. It's liquefied where it's impacting and the stream coming down, and it just sort of bounces off itself. I don't know how well I can show this with my hands, but it'll come down and just like, whoop, and fountain off, and it just goes in any which direction,
could we get that
flying
one more
sideways.
time, please?
Play it again. Whoop. So that is the Kaye Effect, and I think we want to try some other experiments with it. You want to try it?
I do, but I also, we have other colors that I think are gonna be really cool, but this one works really, really well, so I wanna try. Nate has had much more practice at this than I have.
The consistency of the stream is kind of the most important thing. So that's pretty thick. Yeah, there you go. You got some good ones.
But you could do this at home right now. This is such an easy, simple experiment. But you know, maybe make sure that when you're doing this, you're emptying your soap into a dish so you're not wasting it. Aha! Aha!
We've been getting some decent results, but I'm squeezing the bottle and my squeezing is not perfectly consistent. So now we're gonna try pouring it off into a funnel and just letting it drain out. That should give us a more consistent thread of our soap. That way I should be able to figure out just the right height for a good consistent result.
So we're basically letting gravity do the work. A little bit of a roadblock that we've hit here is because we have poured the liquid back into the bottle, there are some bubbles, so we are working with that too.
It's just a more consistent stream. All right, that's working pretty well.
Yep.
I'm going to try the bigger funnel now. The bigger funnel, you know, obviously has a wider opening at the bottom. The stream of liquid coming out is a little bit bigger. I should be able to hold it a little bit higher up and hopefully get slightly larger bouncing streams.
Nice. That was amazing.
All right, now this is the shampoo. This is the that other floral scented one, and I've added some food coloring to it. And I don't know if that's gonna make any change, but we're gonna try it. And once again, I'm just gonna go for the funnel. We've added a white backdrop that I hope will let this color show up better, but.
Rest in peace, white backdrop.
Yeah, it's probably not gonna survive real great.
Oh, there we go, there we go. We're still getting it. And these are thicker streams, which is really cool. Oh, that's so cool though. But yeah, you're right. We're getting faster and more energetic streams when we use the smaller funnels here. That's so cool.
This is working really well and it looks really cool. Now we want to get a shot on our spin table in slow motion, see what it looks like as we like swirl around it. I'm hopeful it'll look really good. Now we've got, it's just a metal pan we've put at a 45-degree angle, more or less, and we want to try one more thing with this stuff, and that's something we've seen a couple other times in demonstrations where you can get it to not only bounce, but it will actually like skip several times as it goes down a slope.
It's like a little skipping waterfall.
Yeah, like it's sort of the pattern of a stone bouncing on the water, something like that. So we want to see if we can get that to work as well. So we've got our tray set up at an angle. We're just gonna start pouring shampoo down it until we get this to work. Now I think to actually get it skipping, it's gonna have to spread a little bit so it can bounce on itself. I don't think it's gonna bounce on the metal plate.
Give it something to kind of follow. Go, 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 go. Yeah.
It's being pulled down by gravity.
Oh, wait, that was one. You had it?
So as it's moving, and we're not getting like stepping stone bounces, but it's not sticking. It's just sliding all the way down across the shampoo because all of the moving threads are still shear thinned. See how look at that, it's like sliding all the way to the bottom.
While you're doing that, I'm going to lower our angle here just a little bit, see if that changes things.
There you go, look at that.
Gravity, that makes sense.
Gravity does what it does. Ooh.
That was cool. It's like it's refusing to even stick to it at this point.
That's getting some of the bounce right there.
There you go, you got it.
Just can't keep it in one spot or it piles up. But if I move up it.
Yeah, and from my angle, it kind of looks like it's just sort of snaking around.
Yeah, it really is just, it's doing the straight up bounce thing, exactly what we wanted.
So cool.
If you're not the person who buys shampoo and body wash in your house, make sure you get permission
There you go.
before you use some expensive stuff. The cheap stuff works great. $2, $3 for a bottle. This 100% is something you can do at home, like we were just saying. And super fun, super easy. If you're doing this and it's not working and you're using like a body wash or shampoo, you're probably too high. We were really getting much better results about that high off of the liquid below. Like a really tall stream. I was getting at the end there a little bit. I think that's just because we had it at an angle. If you're doing it straight above, then it has a tendency to pile up. And I don't think that has the effect as well as this flat surface. So when you've got it at a flat surface, you can probably go a little higher. If you're just doing it onto a plate, keep it low. I think you were saying 20 centimeters is what you saw is supposed to be about ideal.
And you don't need to really squeeze it that hard. So if you squeeze the bottle very hard, the force is going to change it. It's not going to work the same. If you have one of those bottles with a much smaller nozzle and it's not coming out, try just very gently squeezing the bottle and you're going to get better results.
Gravity pulling it more than pushing it down works a lot better. Guys, that's not all you know. We've always got more for you to see. Click that box up at the top and check out our most recent video, and we will see you in the next one. Talk to you then.